is the Will Podcast.
Hi guys, welcome to the first video podcast. I am Willie Laulu, this is Wayne Denham. We will be talking about the NRL, so it's exciting times, Grand Final week. So firstly, I am a Storm fan, as you can see with the colours. And my good friend Wayne here is a Roosters fan, as you can see with his colours. So we wanted to do our first video podcast and kind of dissect the Grand Final and talk about the Grand Final from a standpoint of both fans. So firstly, we just want to thank our sponsors, Cooper Brothers, the Ultimate Gentleman Store. If you haven't visited them yet, go to Castle Hill Towers Mall, level 2, and you can go pick up some ties, neck ties, bow ties, go get a haircut in their barber shop, and you can go get a tailored suit as well. And we also want to give a big shout out to Live Investors. They do pre-approved car loans. They do mortgage finance for first home buyers. So Live Invest Finance, have a look, check out their socials as well, and have a look at them. So this is our first video one. So it's kind of different. As we can see, we've got a bit of merch. We've got a Will t-shirt, so we'll be rolling out some merch for people that are on. So and then it's just myself and Wayne today. So we will be talking about the NRL Grand Final. The big game is on this Sunday, 7:40 kickoff. Melbourne, Chookies. So what we'll do, we'll talk about the lineups, and then we'll talk about the big talking points this week, which was very shoulder heavy rotated. So Melbourne, we had a few dramas with Billy Slater. I will kind of talk about that actually first, and then we'll talk about Cronk. So Slater, fair or not fair? And be as honest as you want.
Oh, of course I would like him to have been suspended for it. You know, Slater not in the actual team, give us more of a chance. I didn't see too much of the actual, like, the hearing, yeah. Or like, because they had like photos and all that up with some of the stuff on Facebook. But the way, like, when you read what the lawyer was actually saying, you're like, man, he's kind of got these guys, like, you know, dead to rights, the way he was explaining it. So he looked actually, from as soon as his lawyer spoke, and Billy said his thing, I was like, nah, he's getting off. Yeah. No way he was
So I followed it. I was in the movies and I followed it, and when I first read the NRL defense lawyer's response, I was like, Billy's gone. He's gone for sure. And I think, and then from what the blogger was saying, it seemed like that as well. And then when they kind of moved on, and then when Nick, the Storm defense lawyer, got up and he brought up, I think the point that stuck and the point that got him out was the rule says you must attempt to use your arms, which he kind of does with the right arm, but you don't have to be successful in that attempt. So I think that's what kind of stuck them. And then once he said that, I was pretty confident he'd get off. So I'm like, I'm happy he's playing, obviously, but it's going to set a bad precedent, and that's coming from a Storm fan. So
well, can you imagine, like, say, this game now?
If Napa just goes off and just kills someone, you can't send him off. You got to keep him on, unless he hits with his head. He hasn't even been shoulder charging people. It's his head.
It's head-to-head contact, yeah.
So, I kind of agree with that. If Napa wants to come and swing his shoulder. Someone did say, I don't know which judiciary member it was, but they said it's a bit different when it's one-on-one front-on contact as opposed to trying to stop a try. Whereas that Wonga Blake one, if people seen the Wonga Blake one, he does the same, but he kind of jumps out, and then his arms kind of go up as well. So I guess if Napa just does a blatant shoulder charge front-on as opposed to maybe Tedesco doing a shoulder charge to stop a try, I think they're going to look at it a bit different, but
I still think the refs are going to still call that a penalty at the time.
The front on one,
or
the
it's the side one.
Yeah.
Because like with this judiciary, they would have been able to see like frame for frame.
Yeah.
Where game time, the refs are all going to be able to look at the video ref and say, oh, it's shoulder charge. Yeah. It's on point kind of decision straight there. So I reckon it'll still be a penalty, but comes to judiciary time.
No one's going to care anyway.
No,
grand final.
That's it. Well, if the referees put their whistle away, I think it'll be sweet.
But it's definitely Storm fans. It was a shoulder charge, and I think every Storm fan knows it. He just had a really good defense, and that's what I keep saying to people. People complain about. I just said he just had a really, really strong defense. It's unlucky for. It's probably more unlucky for the Sharks. How the heck he scores that? And not score. Sorry, Billy got sin bin for that, which he probably could have. He probably should have. that probably would have changed the whole game, and then we're probably thinking about a Sharks Chookies Grand Final. So it has a few repercussions on both ends. For Chookies now, they got to play Slater. Whereas had they not played Slater, we would have had probably Jerome Hughes, and they would have felt a lot more comfortable kicking it to Hughes than they would to Slater. So
I just think with that whole hype as well, with Slater being Slater's last game,
that saved him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that kind of may have had a bit to do with it.
Yeah. Well, you see, that's funny. The start of the judiciary, the big guy, he was like, "Do not let Slater's last game interfere with your opinion on or the outcome of the result," which I think it did.
Yeah.
But it was pretty fair because there was 5. I read there was 5 people nominated. Dallas Johnson, who used to play for Storm, he was one, and they said he was a lock-in. And then like 10 minutes before they changed it, and they brought in Garlic, who was an ex-Chookies fan. And then I thought, oh, we're doomed. So the panel was an ex-Eagle, ex-Eel, ex-Chookie, and I thought we were doomed straight away. But like I said, his defense pretty much saved him. So had he not had Nick, I think he would have been gone, and I think he knows it too. So
I think furthermore on that too, let's say for example if Billy Slater did get suspended, the Roosters are going to be up against a team of Storm players. Filthy. They're gonna be filthy that one he's off. It's his last game. They're going to want to put that extra effort to make it last for him. Yeah. So, but if now Slater's playing, we're versing Slater. Yeah. So you either play a team that's doesn't have their full team, or they're going to be angry that he's not playing.
Yeah. Our backup fullback is 5-0 since he played this year. So I don't know. I like Hughes. I think he's a great player, but I think it's just the comfort thing of having Slater in there. And then we'll roll on with that. Talking about comfort, Cooper Cronk. He's torn his rotator cuffs. If anyone's done their rotator cuff, it's bloody sore. It's worse than a broken shoulder. The pain. So if anyone saw Thurston's injury last year in Origin, where he could his kind of arm was hanging low and he couldn't really do much, that's what Cronk's done. So they've done it at the same time during a game, and then they've just kind of just powered on. Wayne, how does that make you feel if he doesn't play or if he does play? Either or. He finished the game with it.
He finished the game, but I think last week's game against Souths, I don't think Souths kind of attacked him as much as they should have.
Oh yeah, they kept going to Kiri's side, which is really weird.
For some reason, I think they were out for blood for Kiri because he played ex-Souths.
Yeah.
But I think Storm, his old team, they know his weaknesses. They're going to keep on hammering him down. Smith's not an idiot.
Yeah.
He really isn't. He'll just keep going down that way.
Yeah.
Of course, I would love for Cronk to play to have that full strength team. You'd be a bit more comfortable with him there. But then again, do you really want to waste that position?
Yeah. So I was saying to Wayne earlier, great player. He'd probably changed the confidence levels of a few players if he's on the field. But say Joe Simpson runs at him first tackle, does his shoulder, and then he's off, and the Chookies are down to 16 people with 75 minutes to go, and it's probably not ideal. So I think I don't want him to play because he's that good. But then if I was being a Roosters supporter, I probably would just say don't play him and just go another way and just probably trust your.
I think I was thinking about it on the way here actually, and I was like, "What would it be that bad to say you do start someone like Madison in that halves position? All right, you change Orbison around, do that whole I don't know.
Late mail, the Bellamy late mail.
But you do that and have someone like Cronk on the bench, and then on those times where the team's just getting smashed with penalties, they're not keeping their head, get him to come on, cool everything down, make sure nothing really goes down, just keep him on the wing and just lead them to back on there, get him off, put Madison back on. So I was thinking something like that.
So you're still saying playing just in a different role?
Yeah, in a different role then, because I think the Roosters are a lot better than just this one player.
Yeah.
They're not based around Cooper Cronk. Yeah. So if you do have him to come up there and tell them, hey, keep it cool, let's get back to the basics, do this.
If you do that, how long would you keep him on? In spurts? Because you got 10 interchanges. You probably want to use 2 on him, so you can get him out there twice. So
I think obviously you would probably wait until close to the second half.
Yeah, maybe
somewhere in between,
half.
Yeah. And that way, because you can kind of gauge on how they're going.
Yeah.
Then put them on, see if you can steer them in the right direction.
Yep.
If they really even need it, who knows how tomorrow's going to go or Sunday. But if he does come on, steer him back in, stay on until half time. Give him another 5 minutes, get him off, put Madison back on.
and then bring them on in the clutch times.
Yeah.
To
Like
10,
if it does get to the point where field goal is an option,
then you need him because Kiri can't be kicking field goals.
Well, that's it.
Jake Friend can't kick. Fitzgerald from the centre.
We'll see if give it
It's
to
not a bad idea.
So we see like something like that because you're looking at a side where you're gonna have to rely on Kiri and Jake Friend, and Jake Friend's shown this year that there's sometimes where he just
not ready for it.
He does something stupid like kick it out on the full or something. You can't do that in grand final.
Yeah, I'm thinking if you guys play Madison or Orbison, either one, it's gonna be very hard to crack their line because they're really good defenders. And so is Kiri. So you'll lose a lot in attack, but you'll gain a lot in defence.
Yeah.
So that's probably. So Maddo, if Maddo plays halfback, he'll be. I know he'll play 5'8". He'll be on the left day, so he'll be against like Felice, Croft. He will munch Croft all game.
Well, that means he'd be on the same side with like Cordner.
Yeah.
Well, so he's got Cordner with him. Both of them.
So you'll be really good defensively. You'll lose a bit on attack, but like everyone says, defense have won championships.
I think the only thing that would be tough about that is say, like if you guys find out that it is going to be Madison starting, then Kiri's going to be the main like playmaker.
He's just going to get crunched.
He's going to get smashed.
Joe Simpson is just going to crunch you.
Oh, Felice Kafusi's going to come out for him as well, and like that's you got Smith will come out too and do the exact same thing. Like everyone's just going to be targeting him, so they got to try and find a way out to make sure it's not going to be just him. Maybe Teddy can step up or Latrell. Yeah. Come off the centres and do
some more work. Yeah. So you want him to play just in a limited role? That's not bad, bro. I didn't really think of that, to be honest.
Has something like that. At least he's a great leader, great organizer.
Yeah.
So if you have someone like that on the bench,
I'll just do the Peter Wallace trick and pretend you're a water boy.
That too. Well, like how well did the Panthers go with that trick?
Yeah, they won, didn't they? They won that game.
Oh,
hey, Penrith.
They're not in grand final.
Oh, they're not in grand final. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm a Storm fan, so I reckon don't play him and just trust Madison or whoever you want to go. But you want him on, so I understand that too. But still, it's funny because a lot of Storm fans want him to play. It's weird. A lot of Storm fans have a real soft spot for him, so I'm like trying to kill him, and I'm like, nah, F Cronk.
They're always going to have a soft spot for him.
And then everyone was like, no, you can't be talking ill of him, blah blah blah. So I don't know. But I was saying to Wayne, here's my little theory. It just feels like it's all like a show. Like it's just a big stitch up. Like I just don't think if he doesn't play. So if he doesn't play, I think this is predetermined and he was never going to play and his shoulder isn't as bad as what it is and he just doesn't want to play against his old team. I just think it's a big Bellamy trick. He's kind of sent. It sounds stupid. I watch a lot of TV, people. Cronk's been sent there to kind of sabotage the second best team. Well, they were the second best team. Regardless, Cowboys came second last year. They were just playing against a really hot team. Chooks should have been in the grand final last year as well. I just think he's kind of messing with the flow of everything. Bellamy wants his boys to go out as winners, so Slater will go out as the winner. Say if we win and Cronk don't play next year, who's going to stop the Chookies? They got a better team than they do now next year. So I've already penned them down as champions next year. We lose Slater, so we're not going to compete. So then Cronk gets to win his one next year, and then somehow Cam Smith is going to play on and win. That's my theory.
Well, if you guys win, you got that little thing that Smith said, bit of a hint of maybe retiring.
Yeah, maybe they'll just leave together.
So
and then that just pretty much who's going to beat the Roosters next year? Nobody. No Thurston at Cowboys. No Smith and Slater at Storm. Sharkies are falling. They can't beat Chookies. No way. Who was the other fourth team? Rabbits. Oh, Rabbits and Roosters could probably go again next year.
I'll be angry since we've got Crichton now off them.
Yeah.
So
and then who did you lose? Madison to the Tigers. That's it.
Lost a lot, mate.
There we go. Let's talk about the sombrero. They lost Ryan Madison, who's a development player, who's probably on 1 to 200k. They signed the best Pommy winger ever, Ryan Hall. Brett Morris or Josh Morris? Brett Morris. Yeah. It's not a slouch. And Angus Crichton a year ago. And apparently they still have money left. So if that's the fairy tale, which sucks for me because I'd lose Smith and Slater, then it would be perfect because they can win their one this year, and there's no one stopping the Chooks next year. A Cronk who doesn't have to have feelings in the way to Melbourne, he'll just destroy everyone. They'll kill everyone next year. So
Oh, we
No one's going to beat you guys.
Not going
next
to
year.
prove too much, but technically we did lose Ferguson. It was probably on like 3 million.
Oh yeah. Oh, you lost Fergo. Oh, that's 500k there. There you go.
It's looking a bit better now.
So I'm saying don't play him. But I mean, if he plays, then he plays. And then I just don't want. As an opposing fan, I just don't want him to see him get taken off really early, and we just get stuck playing 16 people. It's you kind of want the best against the best. So that's the two big shoulders with the big stories this week. So we'll actually preview the actual game. So the game's on at 7:40 on Sunday. The big talk was the refs. The refs that got appointed, which was Ashley Klein. He's Palmier.
I think so.
Yeah, Ashley Klein, and then Gerard Sutton. I like Sutton. Sutton's good. I don't know about Ashley Klein. Ashley Klein kills us.
I'm pretty sure Sutton's the one that kills us, though.
Oh, there you go. That's 1-on-1. Could have had Matt Chechen, but people in Tonga are still filthy about he's ripping them off.
He's retiring this year too, isn't he?
He's done. Yeah, he's retired. And then, so it's at ANZ Stadium, so if you were to have... Here's the funny part. If there was a home field advantage, it should be the Roosters, right? Roosters section is not even sold out. Melbourne's section is sold out, so good to see the purple there. But it'll be in Sydney, Sunday, 7:40. So I'll run through our team, and then I'll get Wayne to run through his team 1 to 17, because there's a bloke's name in there. I've never even heard of him before. Rorosky or something? Who's that?
Paul McRomosky or something.
Yeah, so so I'll let Wayne say his team. So Melbourne's team is pretty stock standard. Slade at the back. Josh Adokar, Sully Vunivalu in the wings. Curtis Scott, Will Chambers in the centres. Will Mitchell. He's going to get dragged on by his daddy on the weekend. Halves, Cam Munster, Brody Croft. Front row, they've decided to stick with the same as last week, so it don't surprise me if they change it. So Jesse, Cam, Tim Glasby. So Nelson's been starting all year, but he just came back off injury last week, so it wouldn't surprise me if they did start him to kind of combat Hargraves and the kind of big Roosters pack. Second row, Feliska, Footsy, Stimson, and Finucane. So they've named us 8-man bench, but I think the bench will stick to who they are. So Brandon Smith, Kenny Bromwich, Christian Welsh, and Nelson Asaf Solomona. And then they've got on an extended bench Jerome Hughes, Chase Blair, and Ryan Hoffman. So Ryan Hoffman's retiring, which kind of sucks that he can't get the fairy tale, but he's just not playing well enough. Joe Simpson's playing really well. And then on the Roosters side...
So we've got fullback James Tedesco.
Yeah.
Wingers Daniel Tupou and Blake Ferguson. So, congratulations to him to getting the winger of the Dalian winger of the year. He got that, eh?
Yeah.
Winger, yeah.
It would have been between him and Fox. Or Fuss.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because Fuss got top try scorer.
So centres, you got Latrell Mitchell.
You got robbed.
And Joseph
robbed of centre of the year.
Well, Marner's been playing fairly, real good
Marner's
football.
playing really well too. So is Curtis Scott.
Yeah, Curtis Scott's doing well too.
They would have been up there. Well, Latrell should have won it.
But that's going to be a matchup though. Will Chambers, Latrell,
Oh,
Curtis Scott.
mate, he's got ragdolled twice.
We'll see.
He says it in a press conference. He's like, he's got the wood on me. I need to get one on him.
Yeah.
So
he's going to be out there. He's going to come and definitely bring his A game. Which I hope he did for Origin. But anyways, so the halves we have Mitch Orbison and Luke Keary. So
mind game.
We'll see how if that's still going to be it come game day. Front row, Jared Warrior-Hargraves and Siwa Takiyaho. Said that correctly.
Oh, yeah.
And Jake Friend at hooker. Yeah. So second row, I believe we have Boyd Cordner, Isaac Liu, and lock we have Victor Radley.
Victor, my mate Campo, shout out Campo. Victor the Inflictor. It's a good name.
So he's been killing it this year as well. On the bench we have, I don't know if it's the right order, but you got Ryan Madison, Paul Macroom.
Who is he?
He played centre. He killed it for us last week too. He played against the
Titans.
Titans.
Wraps on him.
But he's off to the Tigers next year. That's another one's probably on like 500 mil a year. Definitely. Matches up, really. So he's up to the Tigers next year, so goodbye with them. So you got him, Dylan Napa, and Zane Tetivano.
It's a weird bench.
Yeah, it's different. But
then you're going to get out, you probably look at ours and you probably think Christian Wells, really.
Well,
like Nelson's good. Nelson's Napa. Nelson and Napa cancel each other out. Who's your Oh, Madison. Oh, Madison. Who's Madison? Madison Kenny. He's better than Kenny. Kenny. Brandon Smith. Brandon Smith. You got no one on your bench just like Brandon Smith.
When he runs the ball, man, I don't know how he makes so much ground. He's a little
tough.
nugget.
Yeah, he's tough.
Pitbull.
He's only good for like a 20-minute spurt. So
I think the closest person would be Victor Radley to him,
yeah,
but
Victor,
he's starting.
Yeah.
So
But Victor starts. And then who? So that Monovrovsky?
Yeah.
What is he a centre?
Yeah.
Why are you carrying a centre? It's weird.
Maybe Latrell Mitchell's jumping in the halves.
Oh yeah.
There could be a few things.
Is he
there.
good at half?
Wouldn't have a clue. Well, if Greg Inglis can do it, why can't he? If they're saying
Oh
he's the
mate,
next
if
Inglis.
he plays, Will Chambers' eyes are gonna light up, mate.
Oh man.
So I'll say. So what we'll do is I'll say a player to watch out from the other respective team. So a Chookies player for me, and then a Storm player for Wayne. That may keep us up at night until Sunday. So I was thinking about it. Would say Latrell, but now that he said he might play 5A, I might hold off from that because I don't know where he's going to play. Probably. Do you rate Isaac Liu?
I think he's just got that calm, cool, collected kind of feel about him. There's times where he just comes out of nowhere with this little sidestep, like a Jesse Bromwich sidestep.
Because he'll be against Simpson. Simpson played well last week, but so Felicia's against Boydie this week. That's going to be mad. Because they both can hit. They both run probably pretty much the same lines.
Yeah.
The Rooster player that probably worries me, I'd probably still stick with Latrell. He's got one game back, so he'll be hungry as. He just came off suspension. Regardless of where he plays. Even if he plays at 5 I guess, he'll be on the left side, so that'll be against Brody Croft, so that could be dangerous. Brody Croft not the best tackler. So Latrell will probably be the player for me to watch. Who's your player?
Oh, you can't go past Billy Slater.
Yeah.
Like getting off the suspension, now he's just straight into the grand final. It's his
He's
last
got nothing
game.
to lose.
That's what I mean. And like you saw him against the Sharks.
He killed them.
He had the ball in his hands like so much, like 85% of the time, give or take.
Yeah, he killed them, bro.
And like he was running laps around Moylan.
Yeah. Shut up, Brendan.
Sorry, Sharks supporters.
Shouts out to Big Brendan.
But Slater would be the person for me. He's gonna be out for blood as well.
Yeah.
A couple of shoulder charges.
His favourite for
legs in the air. Couple of those.
Bro, he's gonna cop it so bad. His first run, he's gonna get shoulder charge from someone. Somebody.
Someone's gonna eat him.
And then for the player that excites us from our own team, I'll go first. Probably Foxy. Josh Adokar, he just excites me.
See, he'd be the next person I'd say to watch out for as
Yeah,
well.
so he's against Fergo's deadly. Don't get me wrong. Not discrediting Fergo. Foxy's just quicker. So if he makes a half break, the only person that can go with him toe to toe is probably Teddy. But then if he makes a half break, he's pretty much gone.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you're up against Ferguson too, which is he can do one good thing to 20 bad things.
Yeah, but then in the air, Fergo could eat Fox alive. So I watched the footy show last night, and Sully on the other side will be against Tupou. They play exactly the same. They're both tall, good in the air. And then he, Thaiday said, how are you going to stop Danny Tupou in the air, I assume. And he said they've got a game plan worked out for it, so I don't know what that is. Probably involves a shoulder.
A couple of those.
A few shoulders.
No surprise.
Bellamy special. So that's going to be an interesting matchup to watch as well. Sully and Daniel, because they played the same. They're both quiet.
Yeah.
They do their jobs.
Or they come out and they do that one bad thing that makes
you
drop him from
yeah,
the squad.
so I've called. I think I said to my wife, Tupou will score once because Sully will come out and miss the tackle, and Sully will score once because Tupou will do the exact same thing.
I'm calling it now. Daniel Tupou to knock the ball in the 20-metre line.
Yeah, on your 20-metre line, coming out of danger. Yeah. So I think they cancel each other out because they play exactly the same. They're both real timid. Oh, Sully's got more mongrel in him, but not much. And then you got so Foxy for me is the player that I think can break the game open. What about you?
Teddy.
Yeah.
Tedesco.
Especially our tiring forwards.
Oh, if you get him, if Jake Friend can get like a fast play of the ball and just pass it to him, boom, go on. He's done it during Origin. He's done it a few times this year for us as well.
Yeah.
He looks so dangerous around there. I just think it's going to suck not to have. Like Kivra Cronk would have been good for that because he just has that support play.
Yeah.
Straight up. You see him run straight through and just back him up all the time. But, you know, I guess that's with those other players. It'll be good to have someone like Latrell Mitchell that's going to be there to help him out with that kind of stuff. But I think Teddy's going to be the one. Besides his first grand final as well, so in the NRL.
Oh, it is too, eh?
So he's going to be...
The Tigers didn't take him anyway.
Thank you, Teddy.
Clive Churchill. It's kind of hard because you don't know who's going to...
We all know he's got it right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They said it at the
Slater's
judiciary,
name's
mate.
engraved.
He was practicing his speech at the judiciary, mate.
I will say this. If I'm making a prediction, if Cam Smith wins Clive Churchill, he's as good as gone.
Well, is that the only thing he
That's
has to
the
win?
only thing he's never won.
No.
He's won 2 Dally M's, 2 Golden Boots. Are we counting the strip premierships? 4 premierships.
I'm pretty sure he's still counting.
40 origins, 50 tests. He literally, all he needs is that one. I thought he probably should have got it last year, to be honest. I thought he was our best player on the field. And who else got it?
Slater didn't.
Shoulder man. Yeah. 2012, no way. Cronk was perfect in that game. So, if Cam wins that, he's as good as gone. So, saying that, I don't want him to get it, but I think he's my bet. Him or Slater. Unless someone can just, like, I've seen a few people throw Felice's name out there if he has another big game. Foxy, Jesse Bromwich, he played well last week. And actually, he played well the last 2 weeks, surprisingly.
He stepped up.
He's not as
He's
not as good as he used to be, but he's playing well.
He's been pretty quiet this year, and he's.
Last year.
I think this is when you wanted him to come out and fire, though. You wanted to come
Perfect
around
time.
at the finals time.
Yeah.
Play those
So,
big games.
either Cam or Billy for me, but then if Chookies win it, you can't go past. I'm going to go Cordner. I don't know. Cordner or Teddy.
If Cronk doesn't play, and let's say the Roosters do win, I think
You have to go to Kiri.
Kiri would have to, because he's just carried. He's not actually mean. He'd probably have something to prove as well to Russell Crowe and all those South supporters.
Yeah, he ditched him.
So, you know, go out there and lead the team to victory. But
Why did they get rid of him?
Wasn't there
Money?
I'm pretty sure there was some sort of thing. There was a riff before the season started. I remember someone saying something like that. And
Cody Walker's good. He's not as good as Luke Keary.
Well,
They play the same too.
thanks Souths for that too.
They play exactly the same.
But
Thanks South for Angus Crichton as well. Holy moly.
Let's go down the list, mate, for all the things they've given us.
Yeah, so you're going...
I'm going
Kiri.
Kiri,
If you
I
guys
agree
win.
with Cordner as well, because you know the captain to do that.
Yeah.
But I just think either way, like 2013, the Roosters won and we didn't get it. It was Daly Cherry Evans.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So like we could win and get the same thing done again.
Yeah. And then say if Melbourne win.
Or win, I'm putting
Is it Slater?
yeah. Slater straight away.
Yeah.
Put money on that. Put the house on it.
Yeah. So a lot of talking points this weekend. For me, how are you actually feeling generally?
I'm nervous, as you would be.
Yeah.
Like it's I'm nervous, but I'm.
If you were to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how confident are you that you'll win?
I think about 7. 7 right there.
Probably about the same. But then if Cronk doesn't play, I'll probably push that up. Cronk plays, Roosters win. For me. Cronk doesn't play, we win.
I think it's gonna come down to probably the first try.
You reckon?
Yeah.
We always get scored on first though.
Because I think it's this is how I reckon it's gonna happen. First 10 minutes, Roosters are gonna give 20 penalties away like they usually do. Storm is just gonna march up. They're either gonna go for the 2 or
Yeah,
like,
I don't think we're gonna score very easily. So
But-
last week we scored very easy. I don't think it's gonna happen against you guys. No way.
I just see like say Cam goes for the 2, next one we give another 2 penalties. Like, you know what, let's go for it. He goes for it, goes down to Troy Mitchell's side.
Don't score.
He comes out like he usually does. Doesn't tell Tupou. They both come out. Vunivalu win. So that's how I kind of see like the first 10, 15, 20 minutes going.
Yeah. Well, if you watch Hoffman, Slater, Cam, the originals, not you, Cooper, you prick. They have a chat, and they were saying, so 2012 Hoffman scored first. 2017, to 2009 Hoffman scores. 2012 Hoffman scores. Last year, I think Felice scored the first try.
Was it the Fox? Made that mad, bro.
Oh yeah, Foxy. So they were just pretty much saying, if we can get on a start, if we score first, so good point, then we can kind of protect the lead from there.
Because I think you guys you have real good defense as well. So if you guys
everywhere except the sides, Sully pretty much.
Sully, well,
and then Sully's bad with the read. Fox is bad in the air. Whereas Fox reads it really well, but Sully's good in the air, so it's pretty weird.
Well, if we do get a try there, like in the first 10-15 minutes for some miraculous reason, then I can probably see us. I think it's going to be grind the whole way.
Yeah.
But then again, I can see penalties really, really hurting us. Like they've been like this whole year.
Is that with Cronk or without?
Even with or without Cronk, I think penalties are still going to hurt us.
Yeah. If
we keep giving penalties away, I see it being very, very close. He's winning by like either a field goal or 2 points.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. A lot of Storm fans don't think it's money.
I just don't want it to go into extra time. I don't think my heart could
handle that. Yeah. Or like a 2015, can't do that.
Couldn't do that, mate.
Yeah. Shouts out Shorty. I know he watches. Sorry, brother.
But no, I think it's whoever scores the first try is going to be a good indication. I think if we score first, put Cronk on like second half because we should be doing okay by then. Yeah. But then if you guys score first, get Cronk in half.
You guys looked pretty rusty last week, if we're being honest.
No, I agree with that. Like we only, no one was kicking goals. We only won by, what was it, 8 points? Yeah.
You probably should have won by 18 or something.
A lot more. So
we looked good last week. You guys looked terrible, but it's a different game. Yeah. A lot of Storm fans are calling like 13 plus. Right, you are crazy. Damn. If it comes down to a field goal,
I'm putting it on use.
I wouldn't. No, not without Cronk. Oh, if Cronk's on.
No, I mean like use to win it.
If it comes down to field goal, who's going to kick it?
For you guys?
Yeah.
You got.
Munsters was horrible.
I reckon Munsters got a better kicking game than Kiri does.
Yeah. Croft could hit him. It just.
Smith is just as good and.
Yeah, just like that. But they know if he sends someone else to dummy, they know it's going to him.
Well, I'm pretty sure Billy Slater can slot him over as well.
Oh, bro, imagine if he got it.
Exactly. Fairy tale ending right there gets the point to win the game.
He can't kick that. He's a terrible kicker.
So, the only thing that's going to really, really suck if, let's say it does get into golden point and the decision is made by a penalty goal.
Yeah. If someone loses, just lose by a lot, please. Not a lot, but like 10. Where you know it's...
Yeah.
So last year was kind of cool because I went in knowing we were going to win. So I wasn't too stressed out. And then because we were kind of up by like 20 at one point, I wasn't too worried. So that last year was real relaxing for me. 2016, we lost to Cronulla.
That was a close one.
That was a killer. That got me good. Because that went down to the final play. Shouts out Korobidi, you girl. 2012 I was really relaxed when we won. How were you 2013? Because you guys put it on towards the end.
I was at the game.
Yeah.
Second half when they started coming, like when Jamie Lyon got that penalty try.
Yeah.
Because shot Orbison. And Dejan Mortimer. I thought, oh, damn it, here we go. But then we just started coming out, and that try from Michael Jennings.
Yeah.
Wow. So it was nerve-wracking until your team starts getting on the forefront and that non-legal forward pass from Minicello to...
What about Sonny Bill's playing the worst half of his life? And the second half, he just comes out and just destroyed me. They had no chance. I'm really nervous for this one. So we're both going. I'm in the Storm section. Wayno's in the Roosters section.
That small section full of chooks that are deciding to go.
Or 1,000 of them. You cats. So it'd be good. Really nerve-wracking. So we'll give an honest prediction. And then we can wrap it up from there. But I'm split. I really need to know if Cronk's playing. Give it an honest prediction. But if we're going honest, without Cronk, we win comfortably. With Cronk, we will lose tight. I don't think... with Smith, we lost 40-0 in 08. That was without Smith. With Smith, I can't see us getting smashed, but I can see us losing by like 1-8 or something like that. So if Cronk plays, we'll lose tight. If he doesn't, I think we'll win easy. Pretty much just all rides on him.
All 9 games. I got a feeling he'll end up playing. You put them in the bench. Like if you put him on the bench, or even if he does start, drop that poor Mako last name.
But they've got to do that by tomorrow.
We'll see.
So the 19-man team has to be announced by tomorrow. So I assume he's going to be on there.
Yeah, he'd have to be.
And then they got to cut 2 more just before, an hour before. So we could be possibly walking in there, not knowing if he's playing or not, and then an hour, because we don't. If you're ever in the grand final, they don't tell you the late mail. You got to try to look it on your phone. So kickoff's at 7:40, 6:30 the entertainment starts. So entertainment could be starting, and Kronk may get named, and we don't know. So that's kind of. So none of us are actually going to know if he's actually playing or not until we get there. So yeah, so if we win, Kronk don't play. If he plays, we lose tight. Field goal, penalty, maybe 4 points. Go 4 points. Be safe. Like a Fafita top try. What about you? With or without?
So I reckon without, I reckon it'll be close. So if Kronk doesn't play, I still reckon we still got that Bondi War kind of defense to it. So it'll be close, probably 2 to 1 point game kind of thing. I reckon it's going to be a nail biter the whole way.
Can't do that, mate.
But I think with Kronk, I reckon we'll probably win by at least a try.
Yeah.
So
We're in the same. Similar thought.
Similar thought there.
Yeah. It just depends which Storm team show up. Chooky's team.
That's it. Well, you never know.
Had you guys played anyone else last week, you probably would have lost.
Mm.
They were horrible.
Souths were just... They were never on.
Yeah.
I think our saving grace was probably... Joseph Marnie was probably the best player on the field.
That pass was good.
And he was just constantly on Inglis.
Yeah.
And I think that tackle that he did on Alex Johnston, because I just thought they were in for money.
Yeah.
And then he went and did that. I think he was the one that kind of saved us from a lifetime of regret.
Yeah.
But
it's gonna be tight. 2 best teams all year.
Who would have thought though? To be honest.
Oh, I called. So my start of the year. I think did we do a podcast at the start of the year? No, we didn't. No.
Yeah.
We did like a few weeks in. I always thought it was going to be Cows Chookies. As in Cowboys flopped. I'd never thought, because we don't really do well after we win. 2012 we won. 2013 we were horrible. We lost straight sets in the finals. And then we won last year, so I assumed we were going to be terrible this year. We weren't the greatest team this year. I'm actually surprised we made it.
Well, you're looking at the comp, like the finishing, like the ladder and all that, and the points difference is just the top 8.
So it was a game, mate.
That's what I mean. There wasn't that much of a play. It came down to for and against.
Yeah.
We got the minus for that.
Yeah.
So I think this whole year, I think a lot of us have been kind of lucky. The Roosters were very, very slow at the beginning, and then they started getting a bit of pace after.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it made it easier where the Dragons kind of down spiraling. Panthers, same thing. Souths were kind of hot and cold. I think at one stage I kind of had Souths to win the premiership.
So I had Souths. And then I think we just ran into a tired Sharks team last week. No Gallen, no Graham.
But
no
even then, they started firing at the right time.
That's what I mean. Had they been healthy, you could have been complete. And then the Fecky core could have been completely different. Chooks is just firing at the right time.
I just think some of the teams kind of made it easier for us as well. Just hitting the form at the wrong time.
Going down, we're going
downwards.
up. Yeah,
so
it kind of worked out well for both teams. So should be a good game. Still nervous. I don't know how I want to be on the day, but we'll see.
I don't think we're going to be talking to each other.
We won't be talking at all.
No. If you win though, 1 out at the front.
Yeah, we'll be punching on Rouse Hill. Anyone wants to come watch. We're actually travelling together, so it'll be interesting. But I've already said, I've said to Wayne, I won't. If we win, I won't rub anything in. I expect the same from him. That'll be Devo. We've got another mate coming with us. He's a Storm fan.
He'll get lippy regardless.
Motor mouth. He'll give it to Wayne, which will suck. So
no, it is what it is.
We're going to be good sportsmanship. So if anyone's going, let us know. Regardless of where you're sitting, and let us know in the comments what you think about the game. Preview the game. Thank you, Big Wayne, for coming on. Good luck with the grand final. Again, merch. Hit up the merch. Share it. If you watch this and you like it, share it. Next week we'll be doing NFL with the boys, NFL boys. So I don't know if we're doing video, but we'll look at something. Again, visit our sponsors, Cooper Brothers Clothing. Give me a second. There you go. Cooper Brothers. That wasn't even planned. I just remembered we had a bag there.
On the spot.
Cooper Brothers, Castle Hill Towers More Level 2, ties, bow ties, suits, barbershop. And then if you need a finance on a car loan or a house loan, Live Invest Finance. Get there, brothers. Thanks, Wayne, for coming on. Thanks, guys, for listening. And stay tuned for more news to go. Go Melbourne.
Up the chooks.
Thank you.